Get higher fast, they say it's the dream, but the silence feels louder than it seems. Applications set like ships in the dark. No replies, no spark, no start. You think it's a paper, just words on a page, but it's a system to break out the cage. Get higher fast, it's more than your past. You're the go-to pro, let the world know. Get higher fast, leave the doubt in the past. Worried they're looking at the years you wear, like time erased what you bring to the chair. But it's not about age, it's the way you play. Pushing yourself, lead the way, the way. Connect to the ones who make the calls, shake the fear, break the walls. Get higher fast, it's more than your past. You're the go-to pro, let the world know. Get higher fast, leave the doubt in the past. Worried they're looking at the years you wear, like
You scroll through hundreds of job descriptions, but they all sound the same. You spend so much time on every application, but it doesn't seem to matter. You send off application after application, but never hear back. You thought the interview went so well, but it's a no. You jump through all the hoops. The news keeps saying how there are all these employers that are struggling to find people to hire. So why does finding a great job have to be so hard? It doesn't seem very logical or fair. It's not. The system is broken. It's not your fault. The process most people go through to get a job is awful. But here's the good news. The system isn't very smart. In fact, it's downright dumb. It can be beaten. How? Most prospective employers and employees today are using the same old tired strategies that have been around forever. It's like professional camouflage. Everybody just blends into the crowd. But you don't have to be that way anymore. You can get traction. You can stand out from the crowd to unleash your God-given potential, to help a world in need, to do work that matters, to earn what you and your family deserve. You can do this. You're meant to do this. There are bright things on the horizon for you. This is the way. Welcome to the workshop. Get hired fast without settling, getting ignored, or losing hope. My name is Eric Woodard. I'm a high-performance career and leadership coach based out of Washington, D.C. And if you're here on this Tuesday before Thanksgiving, really just want to acknowledge you for being here. There's, I'm sure, a lot of other things in your world you could be doing right now, and you've chosen to be here. Tells me you're somebody who really takes your career seriously, and you're really like wanting to get this job stuff handled. So let's make that happen today. And look, we've got a small but mighty crowd. Like, it seems like a lot of people, maybe, they're just going to watch the recording. And if you're watching the recording, we welcome you too. But if you're here live, like, we're going to get some stuff handled. So what I really love, if you would, is put in the chat where you're from and how long you've been on the job hunt. Because I'm curious to find out. Because my friends, sometimes being on a job hunt can feel a lot like pounding sand. Sometimes it can feel like trying to wait on a glacier, right? Waiting on a glacier. Sometimes it can feel like wandering in the desert, right? Marta in San Diego, 5 months. We see you, Marta. Hi there, Ken in Dallas, Matthew in Boise, Kent in Connecticut. Sometimes it can feel like going into an arena, Mira in Seattle, Sean in Atlanta. Sometimes it can feel like looking into an abyss, right? So who is this for? Hi there, Kyle in the Windy City. If you are unsure about the direction you want your career to go, hey there, Sherry in San Diego, Glenn in California, Lee in Minnesota, struggling to find ways to describe what you do. Hey there, Chris in Chicagoland. Hi there, Zach in Columbus, right? If you're uncertain if your resume is any good, if you're wrestling with how to follow up after you apply, if you're tired of applying and applying and applying and hearing nothing back, hey there, Charles in Northern Virginia, 5 months for you. If you've been doing interviews that seem to go great and then you get the big fat no, and especially if you're trapped in a job that you don't like and you just don't see how you can escape. Hey there, Chris in Columbia. And especially if you're losing hope, this could be a job for you. Hey there, Brandon in Arlington, Texas. It's been a while for you, brother. We see you. Okay. On the other hand, hi, Muhammad in Orlando. If you are super casual about your career, not willing to really do much work, reluctant to take responsibility for the results you've been getting, really just interested in finding a job to make money, sort of stuck in your ways, and you know all the reasons why you're not getting a job and you're unwilling to be authentic, this may not be the workshop for you. So what we're going to learn today, how to get fast hired, how to get hired fast without settling, getting ignored, or losing hope. I'm going to offer you 4 strategies. Hey there, Chanel in Houston, 4 strategies, 9 tactics that you can put to work today so that you can do work that matters and pays what you and your family deserve. Now, folks, I really want to acknowledge you for being here because there's a lot, and I've written about this. There's a lot of people this time of year like, I'm just going to wait till the new year. And that's not you. You're here, which is amazing and just says so much about you. And it means the competition's so much less, right? People are finally getting around to making that hire they wanted to make in March. All kinds of reasons why this is actually a great time of year to get hired, believe it or not. So our agenda for today, I'm just going to say briefly who I am, where I'm coming from. A lot of you are like, who the hell is this guy? I understand. Again, 4 strategies, 9 tactics. Some of you have joined this call because hey there, Diona in Michigan. Right. Yeah, we hear you there, Diona. And if you have questions, put them in the chat because we're going to have a little bit of time for Q&A today. Some of you know about my program. You know, like we actually had 4 clients get offers this week. Amazing, right? You know about our program. Like you've signed up, either, you've heard about us. You already know you want to like find out more about the program. If that's you, my invitation is book a call. We're going to drop that link in the chat right now. Guys, my only request is if you're going to book a call, there's 3 requirements. 1, you're going to be at least open to the idea of making an investment in yourself, right? You want people to pay you real American dollars, right? You might have to pay some yourself, be the change you seek. 2, you're ready to get started. And 3, you're not going to, and this is really important, you're not going to book the call and then like not show up. Like don't do that, or reschedule or make something more important in your future. Unless somebody's sick or dead, you're going to keep the call. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just listen, you're going to get all kinds of great tips here today. And we'll talk more all about that. That's how you book a call. Okay, and that's the link. So and we're going to have a little bit of time for Q&A. So who is this guy and what does he think he can help me find a job? Well, I don't know. So I'm kind of a weirdo. I grew up in Asia, didn't come to the States till I was 17. I wound up transferring college 7 times. Here I'm in the Midwest looking very confused, right? I wound up as a scuba instructor on the island of Guam. That was pretty cool. I spent about 10,000 hours underwater with the fish. But after about 10,000 hours, my brain got a little spongy, right? And I was like, man, I gotta figure this out. So I thought, what would be the most prestigious job I could have? And I thought, well, that must be something like the White House. So I took out a piece of paper and I hand wrote a letter to the White House. And folks, this was the worst cover letter you've ever seen. I still have a copy of it. And I said, dear Mr. President, you should hire me. And I sent that off and I figured I'm never hearing back. But about a month later, I was going past the Guam post office and the guy came out and he's like, Eric, you got this envelope from the White House. And I opened it up. And it was an internship application. Now, my friends, I didn't know what the hell an internship was, but I was really good at filling out applications. So I filled that out, sent it in, and I'm like, I'm never hearing back about that. But at least I had the cool envelope. I thought that was pretty cool. That got me thinking. I applied to some grad schools and got into GWU, landed in DC with like this big bushy haircut, and was like dumpster diving for furniture, was out on the National Mall one day, bought a pair of shoes, was running past the White House. And I thought, those White House bastards, they never even bothered to let me know about that internship thing. What's up with that? So I found a payphone. I put in a quarter. And I said, hey, you bastards, what about that internship thing? And they're like, is this Eric from Guam? I'm like, yeah. They're like, man, we've been trying to get in touch with you. You're supposed to start in the First Lady's office on Monday. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I bought a suit, got a haircut, and I showed up. Now, look, friends, I don't know if my politics match yours. This is going to tell you how old I am. This was back during the Clinton administration. I went to work for Hillary Rodham Clinton. She was a great boss. Wound up on on her team, right, as an intern, got hired on her staff, spent a lot of the Clinton administration in Hillary land. Eventually followed her to the U.S. Senate, where we did a lot of great stuff for the great state of New York. Followed her to the U.S. State Department, where I did a bunch of UNESCO stuff, and eventually left Hillary land and became director of fellowships and internships at the Smithsonian Institution. And all during this time, at all different levels, senior people, mid-level people, early career professionals, all different disciplines, all different industries, I'd see this same movie over and over, where people who are trying to make the world a better place are stymied by a job searching system that's not very linear or logical or fair. And that drives me crazy. So about 5 years ago, I started a coaching practice. I give a lot of speeches, do a lot of coaching. I've written a bunch of books. I have an outrageous number of credentials and pieces of paper. I'm Dr. Eric Woodard. Thank you very much. Who cares? Right. And I have glowing testimonials, and you don't care about any of that, because what you care about is, can I help you? I don't know, probably, maybe. I've helped about 9 million job seekers. Let's see if we can help you today. So 4 strategies that you can use to elevate your job search right now. So here we go. First question, first one of the day. Here we go. What's a good resume about? Put it in the chat if you would, please. I like to give things away. And guys, you got to know there's not that many people on this call compared to normal. Like a lot of times we have thousands of people register. That's a smaller crowd today. So I like to give stuff away. So you guys are so smart to be here. Let's put it in the chat. Let's see if anybody gets it right. What's a good resume about? Who's going to get the right answer? Hey, Gregory K booked a call right out of the gate. First one out of the gate. That's amazing, Gregory. Nice job. Okay, so good resume shows that you can add value. No. Kevin says marketing. No, not yet. I don't see the right answer yet. I don't see the right answer. Any other takers? Muhammad says, do they even read it? Yeah, I bet they do. Kent says, shows skills you have based on the job opening. Nope. Not a good resume, right? Oh, Glenn Hodges. Glenn Hodges got the right answer. It's the employer. It's the employer. And Chris, I like what you're saying. I like what you're saying, Charles. Sean, I hear you. But Glenn got it right. A lot of you, and so Glenn, we're going to give you this course. It's called How to Make Your LinkedIn Profile Awesome, right? And let's make sure we give this course also to Gregory K, because Gregory K was the first one to book a call, right? We're going to give you this free course just for getting the right answer. So congratulations to you, right? So Ken says, wow, explain that. So a lot of you are thinking a good resume is about you. It's about my skills, my experience. Nah, you want to be influential. The first thing you're going to want to talk about is them, right? A good resume is not about you. It's about them. It's about the person you're writing to or the organization. So this is strategy number 1, my friends. It's not about you. It's about them. If you get nothing else out of this workshop, get this. This alone will be worth the price of admission. A good resume is not about you. It's about them, right? So many job seekers are like, me. But employers are focused on themselves. So if you want to resonate with them, you're going to focus on them too. Make the application about them. Guys, we're going to talk a lot more about this. Okay. And it's no wonder that we think a good resume is about us, because very likely the first resume we ever did was from coming out of school. And in school, it is about us. It's our cubby. It's our desk. It's our worksheet. It's our transcript. It's our diploma. It's our trophy. Brian M. booked a call. Nice job, Brian. So let's make sure we send Brian that course too. Guys, let's make sure we take care of all these people that book a call, right? But when we move to the working world, it's about the constituent, the client, the customer. It's not about us. Do you see how this can fundamentally change your job search? There's so much more. Okay. All right, guys, I got another giveaway here. If I went to a library and I looked at a shelf full of storybooks and I looked at the front cover of those storybooks, there'd be some words. What do we call those words? Who's going to get it right? This one's easier. What are those words called that we see on the front cover of a storybook? What are those words called? Somebody's going to get the right answer. There's a little bit of a delay. So, Kent Givens, right? Nice job, Kent. You got the right answer, right? It's titles. So let's make sure we send Kent that LinkedIn course, right? Titles. Now, isn't it interesting that that's the same term we use to label people in the workplace, right? Which tells me that just like we'll put the title on the front cover of a storybook, we'll put titles on the front cover of somebody's career story. Let me ask you a question. I got another giveaway. Here we go. What percent of human decision-making is emotional and what percent is logical, right? What do you think the ratio is? 50-50, 60-40, right? What's the ratio? Human decision-making when it comes to the ratio between emotion and logic. What do you think? So Kent says, it's been a while since I was a kid in the library, but lived there as a kid. That's right, Kent. All right, so Jeffrey says 90-10. Let's see if anybody's going to get it. Ken says 90-10, right? Zach says 70-30. Chris says it's 90%. Sean says 80. Brandon says 80. Nope. Nobody's got the right answer yet. Ken says 80-20. Nope. Chanel says 91. Nope. Nobody's got the right answer yet. Nobody's getting it. I'll wait a few more seconds because some of you guys are stumped, right? Zach says it's 98 too. Oh, Jeffrey Crody. Yeah, so Jeffrey, Marta Levinson, and Kevin Cox, you three got it right. All in a row. It's 100% emotional. So let's make sure we take care of all three of those guys with the free course, right? It's 100% emotional. Human decision-making is 100% emotional. And the reason we know that is when somebody gets their limbic system damaged, they're fine, except they can't make a single decision. And that's the debilitating part, right? When you guys got on this workshop, right, you very quickly made the decision about whether you like the music I was playing. Hey, Stacy F., you booked a call. We look forward to talking to you, Stacy. Let's make sure we take care of Stacy with that course, right? You very quickly decided whether you like the sound of my voice, you liked my shirt, the music, my hair, and it was an emotional decision. And now you're just basically collecting data to rationalize the emotional decision that's already been made. So all these companies walk around and say, we make data. This is how they sound. They say, we make data-driven decisions. No, they don't. I mean, maybe later, but the original decision is emotional. It's very quick and it's 100% emotional. So, and the way we convey emotions, it's like what Maya Angelou said, people will remember how we make them feel. So if you're not using story in your job seeking stuff, you're really leaving a lot on the table. Story in your resume, your cover letter, your follow-up, your networking, your interview, even negotiating the offer, you're going to want to use story. It's really important. I'll be telling some stories as we keep going. All right, here we go. Speaking of a story, who can tell me who this guy is? What's this guy's name? I'll give you a hint. He lives in Idaho. What's this kid called? What's this guy's name? Who knows? He is a friend to the llamas. What's this guy called? Or is it alpacas? Alpacas? I'm not sure. Right? Zach L. Right out of the gate. Zach got it right. It's Napoleon Dynamite. So Zach, we're going to send you this course. Good job, Zach. This is Napoleon Dynamite. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this fine piece of cinema, first of all, drop everything and just go watch this. I mean, come on, folks. We're trying to create a society here. And I won't ruin it for you. Napoleon. Hey, Nathan S., you booked a call. Nice job, Nathan. We look forward to talking to you. Way to go. Right? So Napoleon's a high school kid. He sort of beats to his own drum. And he finds himself on stage at his school in front of the entire student body. Now, he's managed to get a cassette tape up to the sound booth, and that's it. And the music's starting to play. And now Napoleon's on the hook to do some kind of performance. So the music starts to play, and Napoleon's standing there, and he just starts to dance. And it's wild. And he metaphorically opens the kimono. And when he's done, filmed in Preston, Idaho. That's right, Matthew. When he's done, he's sort of panting and sweaty. And all the other kids are like this. And then they burst into applause. And the reason it works is because it's so authentic. Jamie Kern-Lima, the founder of IT Cosmetics, says, everybody's a good dancer if they commit fully. And she's right. Which brings us to strategy number 4, which is authenticity. Here's my question. Who do humans hire? I'll tell you, it's humans. It's humans. Now, some of you are like, but Eric, what about the ATS? What about the algorithms? I need to have an ATS-friendly resume. No, you don't. You're going to want to have a human-friendly resume. And not even a human-friendly resume. You're going to want to have a human-serving resume. We're going to get into talking about ATS, but those of you who've gone down that rabbit hole, how's that working out? Madeline H., we look forward to talking to you. Nice job, Madeline, right? I'll tell you, it's not great. Right? Humans don't want to hire imperfective robots, right? They don't want somebody who's pardon me, do you have any gray poupine? They don't want to hire that person. They want to hire somebody they can relate to. Humans hire humans. So if you're not giving them evidence that you are a human, you may want to. So one time, for example, I was talking to this woman named Nina. Notice I'm telling the story. I was talking to this young woman named Nina, and her resume was fantastic, but there was no evidence that she was a human. So I said, Nina, what do you like to do for fun? And she sort of hemmed and hawed, and it came out that Nina had a pen collection. I'm like, well, that's super effing weird. We got to put that. And she's like, no, I could never. I'm like, yeah. So I argue with Nina, and I wasn't sure whether she was going to do it or not. But eventually I hear from Nina about a month later, and she tells me how she went into the interview. They talked about pens for 30 minutes, and then she got the offer. This happens with my clients all the time. Do you see how putting humanity in your resume can elevate your job search, right? Do you see what this would mean for your job search? Game changing, especially if you haven't been doing it, especially because nobody else is. Huge. All right. Authenticity is your superpower. Let's talk about Abe Lincoln, who said, give me 4 hours to cut down a tree. I'll spend the first 6 hours. I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. This brings us to the idea of systems, right? There's nothing wrong with you, right? The results you're currently getting in your job search are perfectly attuned to your current systems. And if you want to get different results than the results you've been getting, you're going to want to change your systems. So some of you are sitting there, you're like, I don't have any systems, Eric. Yes, you do. Some of you have this system called, I'm going to hide my age. Some of you have this system called, well, I'm going to put the title of the job I'm applying to, because somehow they'll see that on my resume and they'll glitch out and they'll think, oh, well, this person is for the job I'm offering because they put the title on there. Like, what's that all about? Some of you will have that paragraph, that executive summary. What is that about? Let me tell you all about myself with no context whatsoever. No, like those systems don't work. Right? Some of you have the system of, well, I'm going to trick the ATS. Hey, Angelica, you booked a call. Nice job. We look forward to talking to you. Right? These systems don't work. There are other systems that do. Right? So I want to hand it to you. For a lot of you, this is the system you've been using. And God bless you. I mean, you've just worked your heart out. Right? You got the sticky gear shift and the button, and you're wondering why you can't drive your job search to success. This is why. This is the system that's available. Now, you can spend a lot of time and money trying to figure out how to get from here to here. Or you could just get some help, right? You could just do that a lot faster, a lot cheaper, or you could just keep doing this. My invitation is to do this. All right, so how do you put this all to work? So guys, I want you just to give you a little bit, because people believe what we show them more than what we tell them. So I want to show you an example of somebody that came to a workshop just like this. Hey, Michael D, we look forward to talking to you. Good job, Mike. Guys, let's make sure we take care of all these people that book calls with the LinkedIn course. Thank you. So we've got Jessa and Chris helping us today. So thank you, Jessa and Chris, right? I want to give you an example of a woman. Her name was Angel. She came to this workshop. This was, I guess it was almost a year ago now. It was actually around this time last year, because she got hired in January. So let's show them Angel, please. In the time we've got left, I'm curious, especially if there's somebody we haven't heard from yet. They've had a win, a loss. Angel, I got to ask you, what do we know, if anything? What do we know?
I got the job. Yay!
Whoa!
The offer. I'm moving in a week. Yeah, it's crazy. And I know when we first met, you're like, oh, like, let's get something by your birthday. And my birthday is in 4 days. So I was able to do it. Yay.
And I just want to acknowledge you. Like, you dove in, you did it. You did the work.
Thank you.
Way to go.
It would not have been possible without signing up for this program. Truly. I think it made the difference for me.
So good, Angel.
Yeah.
Really happy for you.
Yeah.
Super awesome. Congratulations to you. Yeah. Hey, Angel. Good job, Angel. So again, I've got a program. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. We're still going to have time for Q&A. It's amazing. It's called Get Hired Fast. The idea is we're going to get you hired in 3 months or less, or we'll stay with you until you do. Jason M. booked a call. Nice job, Jason. We look forward to talking to you. And comes with a lot of one-on-one coaching, group coaching. We have a Black Friday deal right now, which is amazing, which I'll tell you about in a second. There's a community. We have group events like 5 days a week now. Yeah, it's awesome. It works. It's amazing. It's slices, it's dices, and it just gets people hired real damn fast. Like I said, we had 4 clients this week get hired. Amazing. So if you're interested in talking with us about that and seeing what's possible for you, and by the way, are just getting a little coaching, right, to figure out what's going on with your job search, you can go ahead and sign up to book a call, as a lot of you already are. So, but the only request is you're going to show up. You're not going to book the call and cancel. Like, don't do that. My team's not that big. It's the holidays. Come on, guys, don't do that. 2, you're going to be at least open to the idea of investing in yourself, and I'll talk about what that is in here in a little bit. And then 3, you're ready to get started. So if that's you, book a call and let's talk. I think they're even giving away a free coaching session with me right now, which is pretty amazing. Okay. 9 tactics. Here we go. 9 tactics. Let's rock and roll. So some of you are watching this on the replay, and I want to talk real darn fast because you've already got me at 2 times speed. I like to do that to wake up the people who are watching. And those of you who are here, hello. So let's say there's a lake, and in the middle of the lake, somebody's drowning. Now they're surrounded by other people in little boats. Okay, so somebody's in the middle of the lake drowning, and they're surrounded by other people in little boats. If that was a job search, who's the person drowning? Put it in the chat, please. Let's see if anybody gets it right. Right? Who's the person drowning? Metaphorically, if this was a job search. So there's somebody in the middle of the lake drowning, and they're surrounded by other people in little boats. If that was a job search, who's drowning? Who's drowning in this situation? Let's see if anybody gets it right, because I want to give some stuff away. Right? So Ken says the job searcher. Okay. Jeffrey Crody, right? And Jeffrey, I think Jeffrey's got it. And I think Jeffrey already got another one right, if I'm remembering. So Anayi did. Okay, Anayi. So let's give it to Jeffrey and Anayi, right? A lot of you are saying, yeah, right. A lot of you are saying it's me. I see you there, Matthew. A lot of you are saying, Marta, you're saying I'm the one drowning. Nah, you're the one in the boat. It's the employer that's drowning. And the reason we know they're the one drowning is they've told us. They've put it out a sign to say, help, I'm drowning. We're drowning in work. Okay. And a lot of you are acting as though you're drowning, right? It's as if you're in the boat and you're rolling up to those employers who are drowning. You're saying, pick me, please. I'm desperate. Right? You don't want to do that. That's right, Anayi, right? They have problems, right? Hey, Samantha P, we look forward to talking to you. Nice job, Samantha. Okay, so this brings us to tactic number 1, which is mindset, right? We want to get away from, I hope they pick me, or I'd be really good for you. You don't want to say any of that stuff. Realize they'd be lucky to get you. You want to approach your job search from a place of service. And people, and I want to hand it to you guys because I haven't seen this. A lot of times I do this workshop and at least one person says, well, it's about selling yourself. Nobody said that. Good. I'm glad. Selling people's weird. Buying people's weirder. We've gone over this historically, people, right? No selling yourself, no buying people. Don't do that, right? Come from a place of service. Nobody wants to be sold. They want to be served. Speaking of being served, let's talk about crab fishing. Right. So some of you may be familiar with the show Deadliest Catch. They put these big steel cages on the bottom of the ocean floor with a little bit of bait, hoping to catch some crab. So Charlie the crab comes along. Oh, free lunch. That's how Charlie sounds. He's a snow crab in Alaska. And it's not because he's a snow crab it sounds like that. That's just Charlie's voice. Like, don't stereotype people. So Charlie goes in, and then Sally and Cheryl and all these other folk, crabs join in. And eventually they're all, and more crabs join. Eventually Charlie's like, there's no more bait. I'm out of here. Now, here's the interesting part. The other crabs, despite his weird voice, the other crabs will pull Charlie back in. They'll even pull off one of Charlie's arms. They'll even do a crab murder on Charlie. Because crabs like to be with other crabs. That's how crabs roll. It's part of their instincts. And of course, what happens is, more and more crabs join, the bait's gone, they all get pulled up to become dinner. This brings us to environment, tactic number 2. A lot of you are working under the misinterpretation of reality that the reason you're not getting a job is because of the economy, or, hey, Tracy K, you booked a call. We look forward to talking to you, right? It's the economy, or it's, you don't have the right credentials, or the market's, the industry's saturated, or you don't know the right people, or you're too old, or you're too young. Nah. 1, it's because you don't have the right systems. And 2, it's because your environment's not optimized. Environment eats motivation for lunch. And when I say environment, I'm talking your psychological, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, physical, all of it. If you can get that dialed in, so where it supports your job search, it's game changing. A lot of people don't even consider it. This is one of the things that when people join our program that we get cleaned up right away. It's easy. Some of you know of the idea of reference groups, right? You're the average weight income of the 5 people you hang out with most. Exactly. Do you see how if you put a little bit more attention on this, how it could really make a difference for you? It does for a lot of people. All right. It's hard to hit a blurry target, man. Yeah, which brings us to the idea of vision. Some of you know the proverb, where there is no vision, the people perish. Exactly. You know, sometimes I'll ask job seekers, I'll be like, hey, man, how much money do you want to make? And I'm like, well, somewhere between $50,000 and $150,000. I'm like, thanks, Gomer. That's great. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Well, I want to help people. I'm like, Gomer Pyle, that's beautiful. And it's super vague. This gets this thing called the reticular activating system, right? Like if I say the color red right now, all of you are instantly more of red just because I put it in your brain. Hope that's okay, right? Bruce Lee said, be careful what you tell yourself. Your body's listening. And if you're not telling yourself anything, you'll just sort of drift around. You'll literally be blind to opportunities that are right in front of you. When race car drivers drive 500 miles in a circle, there's a reason they don't look at the outer wall. It's because the car will tend to go where they look. And if you're not looking anywhere, you'll be just like those race car drivers driving 500 miles in a circle. Don't do that. Just please don't do that. Get nothing else out of this workshop. Don't do that. You're going to want to have vision, clarity. It's vital. Mindy G booked a call. Nice work, Mindy G. Good job. All right. Look forward to talking to you, Mindy. If I went to a store and I bought this, what would I be buying? Put it in the chat if you would, please. What would I be buying if I went to a store? Hey, Sean W., we look forward to talking to you, buddy. Good job. Right? What would I be buying if I went to a store and I bought this thing? What would I actually be buying? Let's see if anybody gets this right. What would I be buying if I bought this? So Marta says a tool. Kent says a drill. Tool to fill a need, says Jeffrey. You guys know how sneaky I am. Let's see if anybody gets it right. What are we buying? Charles says cordless drill. Chris says solution. Matthew says a tool to accomplish a job. Nope. Nobody's got the right answer yet. Glenn says a capability, right? What is the right answer? It's driving us crazy. We go to the store. So Kevin says efficiency. Some of you are circling it. Here's the thing. I don't need this sitting around my garage. What I'm actually buying when I buy this, I'm buying holes. What I actually need is a hole. Yeah, portability. No, I need a hole. And actually, I don't even really need a hole. What I need is a place to put the hook. And actually, I don't want a bunch of hooks coming out of my walls. Gash my arm open. Be very sad, right? I need a place to hang the photo. And actually, I don't even need a place to hang the photo. What I really want is the feeling that I get when I look at the picture of my beautiful family that's hanging on the hook, that's in the hole that's made by the drill. And this brings us to the idea of giving safety. Some of you are spending a lot of time and energy worrying about the economy and the industry. And hey, Diva, and you booked a call. Nice job, Diva. We look forward to talking to you, right? And that's your system. Some of you are spending a lot of time talking about me. Let me tell you about my skills and experience and why I'm the best for the job. Nah, right? The opportunity is to talk about them, and not just talk about them, but talk about what keeps them up at night when they're lying in bed, trying to go to sleep, looking at the ceiling. If you can get to that, you don't have to worry about how many other applicants LinkedIn says have applied. You just don't. Do you see how this is so much more sophisticated than trying to hide your age or take off all but the last 15 years of your experience because some 20-something recruiter told you so? Like, this is more like, do you see how this isn't like the normal stuff you've heard before and how this could help you? How can you make them feel seen, heard, and understood? Amazing. All right, guys, next tactic here. Tactic number 5, resumes. Let's talk about them. They're kind of crazy. Definitely more art than science. There's no one right way to do them. And paper, right? Let's talk about paper. The last thing you're going to want to do is have your stuff look like everybody else's, because that's just right. If you're trying to show them that you're remarkable and different, why would you want to follow best practices? Why would you want to use software that makes your stuff look like everybody else's? You wouldn't. So don't do that. Realize that resumes are just a communication piece, and it matters how you put them together, what you say, when you say, where you send it. It all matters. And like we said, a good resume is about them. So you're going to want to have a system for customizing this stuff to make it about them. So where it doesn't take you half a day to put it together. It's one of the things we work on with clients. And you want to, be innovative. Notice how I have hyperlinks in my resume. You could, right? Notice how I have a section that says more Eric. You could, I was working with a lady a couple months ago, and she decided at the bottom of her resume, 2 truths and a lie. She got 2 offers, and she got 2 interviews and 2 offers just from that. Hi, and is it Andrea or Andrea? I don't know, but I'm so happy to talk to you. We look forward to talking to you, Andrea. Right? Booked a call. Right? She got, just because it's authentic. In an increasingly automated world, the opportunity is to be more human. And I'm not dinging AI. It's miraculous. There's a lot of good things. And let everybody else chase their tail with that stuff. You get to be more human. This works. It's only helped about 9,000 job seekers we've worked with. All right, guys, I got another one for you. If an application submitted, but there is no follow-up, does it even make a sound? Andrea D, does it even make a sound? I would humbly suggest that it doesn't. This brings us to the idea of follow-up. Some of you apply and you're like, well, shucks, I hope I hear back on that one. And for some reason, this is the voice you get. When you apply and you don't follow up, you start to sound like this. Isn't that weird? I hope I hear back, right? And the opportunity is to follow up, not with the recruiter. They're professionally trained ninjas, right, at keeping you away from the hiring manager, because that's kind of their job. So we don't want to follow with them. We want to follow up with the hiring manager. And we don't want to say, hey, I'm really interested in the job, right? Really, really passionate about the job. Nope, because that's all about us. We want to follow up from a place of service. You do this 2 or 3 times. And some of you are like, but Eric, isn't that pushy, right? What if they even say, don't contact us, we'll contact you? Nah, right? See, I want to be willing to offend in the name of service. If I'm in the boat and somebody's in the water and they're face down and motionless, I'm not just going to be like, well, I'd be really interested in helping you. No, we're going to jump in the water. We're going to flip them over. We'll start doing mouth to mouth. And they sort of come to you and they're like, lady, I was just snorkeling. You'd be like, my bad. And again, you'd be willing to offend in the name of service. It's the same thing here. We've already decided it's the employers who are drowning. Act accordingly. Act accordingly. 100%. 100%. Okay. So, but some of you are saying, but Eric, I would follow up, but I don't know who to follow up with. My friends, I have a solution. Here it is. I have a course. It's called How to Contact Anybody. I want to give it away to you right now. Here's how you get the course. 1, you're going to go to my LinkedIn profile. We're going to put the link right there. There it is, right? 2, you're going to follow me or connect me with me, right? Follow, connect, whatever shows up. And 3, there's my profile. 3, you're going to connect with me. And 3, you're going to email me through LinkedIn the word chicken. Right? So that's the password. You're going to connect with me on LinkedIn, and then you're going to message me through LinkedIn once you're one of my connections or followers, the word chicken. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. And we'll send you this free course, How to Contact Anybody. Isn't that amazing? All right. So you're going to want to follow up 100%. All right, guys, on to tactic number 7. Here we go. It's a big one. Right? Some of you are like all nervous about, do I put the chevron on my LinkedIn about open to work? And I don't really want the world to know. No, right? You're going to want to, you ever see the Academy Awards? Hey, Rachel D, we look forward to talking to you. Nice job. You ever see the Academy Awards, right? Where they get up there and some actor, she's won a big prize and she's like, yeah, I got nobody to thank. And it's sort of awkward. And they're like, well, we're just going to burn the clock. No, she's like, I got to thank this person and this person and this person there. And they're trying to drag her off stage. When people do great things, we do them with others. Some of you are wearing cloaks of invisibility when it comes to your job search. You probably, if you're on this call and you're over 25, you know at least 1,000 people. And if you're older than that, you know even more people. And you've probably spent a lot of time with your brain in their Rolodex. For those of you who are over 40, right? You've already decided who they know and how they can help. Don't do that. You're going to want to have a system. Remember we talked about systems earlier? System for reaching out, not one at a time, because that's sort of like fishing with a fishing pole. You got to get the right bait on the right fish at the right place, the right depth. Whew. I mean, maybe what we want to do instead is have a system for filtering the ocean. And that way we don't have to worry where the jobs will be because we're everywhere. Do you see how this system would help you in your job search? It's helped a lot of clients in our program. So you're going to want to have a system for networking that filters the ocean. All right, guys, let's talk about next tactic, interviews. Here is the best interview advice in the world. Are you ready? Please prepare yourself for this advice. I'm about to deliver it. Here it goes. Don't answer their questions. Don't do that. Don't answer their questions because they're really only asking one. And that question is, can we trust you? Because that's really the only reason they're going to hire you. It's not if they like you. It's not your skills. It's not your experience. Because how many times have you seen somebody with no skills or experience get the job? And vice versa. It's not even if they like you. It's if they trust you. And so that's really the only question they're asking in interviews. Can we trust you? Now, if we were in there was a movie about this, right? Where, just people tell the truth. If we were in that world, they could sit down and be like, oh, can we trust you? No, not really. Okay, well, thanks for coming in. No, but we can't do that because of society. So instead we ask questions like, well, tell me about a time you took a risk and tell me about, and we give answers. Nah, instead of worrying about how you're going to answer the questions, just, hey, Mike F., we look forward to talking to you, buddy. Nice job. You're going to give answers and tell stories that build trust. You do this, especially if you're one of these people that's gone through interviews and then gotten to the end and not gotten it. This is why they don't trust you. Those of you who are signing up to book a call for whatever reason, you trust me. Great. And some of you aren't. That's okay too. It's nothing personal, right? But the way we build trust is through vulnerability and by making it about them. All right, guys, let's talk about offers. Offers. Two things when it comes to offers. One, you don't have to worry if you're qualified for a job. They'll have an opinion. And two, you don't have to worry if you want a job unless and until it's offered. Because otherwise you're sort of negotiating with yourself. And when it is offered, we want to live in a land of possibility. So many people who've gone through our Get Hired Fast program, right, have literally paid for the program. Well, one, they've gotten a job because they knew how to navigate the offer. And then they've paid for the program several times over because we've been able to help them get a better offer. It's not that hard. It just takes practice. And if you're only, job searching once or twice or 3 times or 4 times in your life, you just haven't had that many reps. We have. So write this down, guys. 4 strategies, 9 tactics. This is how you get hired fast. We're going to have a lot of time for Q&A here. A lot of time for Q&A. Hey, Welly, we look forward to talking to you, Welly. Nice job. Look forward to talking to you. This is how you get hired fast. Right here. This is the recipe. Okay? Guys, I just want to say this is not Googleable. This stuff that I'm giving you, if it sounds new, that's because it probably is, right? You're not getting this anywhere else. This isn't stuff that I've stolen from other people. This is stuff I've developed on my own. It runs counter to much of the job searching advice that's out there. It's somewhat unorthodox. I'm willing to offend in the name of service. And I've got the receipts to show it, right? Like plenty of people. So look, some of you are like, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait, right? I'll wait till the new year. And here's what you don't realize. You don't realize how expensive this is, because if this is how much you're wanting to make, this is the opportunity cost per month. This is what it's costing you per week. So look, if we can get you hired a couple of weeks faster, you more than pay for this program, right? We're going to get you hired way more faster than, like people get hired fast, usually 3 months or less with this program, right? So get hired fast. You think this workshop is good? Wait till you see the paid stuff. It's really good, right? We're going to have, going into 2026, we're going to have group events 5 days a week, every weekday at noon, right? I lead 2 or 3 of them, and it's not like thousands of people, folks, because people don't stay in my program that long. Like we usually have like 20 or 30 people at most, right? You get one-on-one coaching. There's an online community, and it really, really, really works, right? We take you through everything, like mindset stuff, figure out what you want to do, get your LinkedIn all squared away, cover letters, resume, follow-up, networking, interviews, like really advanced strategies that, remember that NORAD thing I showed you? Like that's the system we have. So you don't have to like figure it out on your own. And I mean, how long would that take you? Like, do you see how this will save you time and money? So we've already got the receipts that how well this works, right? Bunch of receipts. Jessie was a nonprofit exec. She got like a couple of offers in her program before she accepted one. It was awesome. She's a badass, right? Robert was coming from overseas and he didn't want to like spend like a bunch of time on arrival, like, and he didn't. Like we got him hired in like, I don't know, it was like 10 weeks, right? Wayne got a bunch of offers with us. John was a CEO that we landed. Amy was one of these poor folks she kept getting like almost to the end and then wouldn't get the offer. And she's in a job now that she found partnering with our program. She loves it, right? Philip was an early professional. He got 2 offers at once. You already met Angel, right? here's the numbers. And notice I'm not going to spend a lot of time on numbers because people make decisions based on emotions, not fact. And for those of you who really want some numbers, here we go. But you can see how most people get hired in the first few months, right? Some people go 4 months, and then there's a few people that take a little bit longer. Sometimes they get sick. Sometimes they take a break. I mean, there's different stories there, and sometimes they just don't do the work. Those are the numbers. And like I said, we just got 4 people hired last week. It was amazing. So guys, you don't want to go into 2026 doing the same things you've been doing to get the same results you've been getting. Mark S., you booked a call. We look forward to talking to you, Mark. Good job. Right. So here's how this works, right? We've got multiple payment plans available. Right. It boils it down. If you get financing through like Klarna or PayPal, it boils it down to like $300 a month, right? Because a lot of people ask me, well, Eric, can I pay you after I get the job? Like almost, right? If you can afford a $300 a month payment, like we'll get you hired in 3 months and then pay off the rest, right? And the guarantee we offer is we don't leave you. If you join this program, we stay with you until you get the job, which means we place 100% of people who join this. And sometimes my staff are like, Eric, that sounds really salesy. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if it sounds salesy. That's what's accurate, right? I'm committed to people who join this program. We're going to go to war for you on this job search. So that's how it works. And guys, we have a Black Friday deal going on right now. It's really good. We're taking $1,500 off the regular price, and you get a coaching session with me. It's really good. Sandra, we look forward to talking to you, Sandra. Nice job. Nice job, Sandra. All right, guys. So that's the deal. So look, if you haven't already, we've already got the receipts. Book a call. Come talk to us. Again, please don't book a call and then ghost us, right? You don't like getting ghosted in your job search. Don't do that to us. Like, just don't do that, right? If you're wondering why you're getting ghosted in your job search, stop ghosting people. Don't ghost us, right? You're at least open to investing in yourself and you're ready to get hired now, right? And if nothing else, you're just going to get some great coaching about your job search. And the call is free. This call is complimentary, of course. So that's how you book a call if you haven't already. That's the deal. All right, guys, I've got time for questions. So I'm going to give you my full gigantic head so you can really see how planetary it is. All right, let's see if anybody has some questions. I didn't see too many today, but if you've got some questions, now you're so welcome, Andre. You're so welcome. Who's got a question? You know what? We've got time today. I may even do something I've never done before and try and bring you on live. But I won't do that if you don't want me to. Who's got a question? You're so welcome, Charles. Any questions that, and team, I don't know if anybody asked. I didn't see any. We've got kind of a shy crowd here today. So if there's no questions, we'll wrap up, but I want to give people just a few more seconds. Everybody's ready for Thanksgiving though. Like, man, I already showed up for the workshop. I did my part. All right. So maybe, hey, Daniel L., you booked a call. Nice job, Daniel. We look forward to talking to you. So Andrew, yeah, the price is, we've got a Black Friday deal right going on. It varies. It depends how people pay for it. But again, if you're wanting to make like $60,000 or $70,000, we get you hired a couple weeks sooner, you're going to more than pay for this. Yeah, but the price varies. And we're not even going to offer to work with you unless we can help you. That's for sure. Yeah, because guys, the opportunity here is, hey, Marisa, you booked a call. Nice job, Marisa. We look forward to talking to you, right? The opportunity is like, look, guys, you could wait until the end of the year, right? You could wait and just like, the hard part about that is you're just getting going, right? So your systems really aren't getting going until February. And if you can be one of these people who's actually in the game now, these last couple of weeks of the year when everybody else is checked out, and even if that doesn't get you traction, you're somebody who's getting traction, like hitting the ground running the first week of the year, it is a game changer, right? You're not going to want to wait. And this is the best price that we offer all year long. And actually our prices are probably going to go up after the new year. So you're not going to want to wait. So look, I just acknowledge you all for being here. Chris and Jessa, thank you for, hey, Ellen, you booked a call. We look forward to talking to you. Like, just acknowledge you for being here. And if you're tired of doing this job searching stuff alone, like, let's get it handled. You don't have to do this alone anymore. So just really appreciate you all being here and hope to have the chance to meet you soon. Take care, my friends.
I started job searching a month before I started the program. It took me between 6 months and a year since COVID to find contract jobs. So when I got the notification, the Win at Work, Get Hired Fast, it was called Get Hired Fast email, I said, I just knew immediately this was the way to go to quicken the time. I immediately jumped on this because in the past it had just taken so long to find work and find the right kind of work. I mean, I've had in my career a couple of really horrible contracts, and I knew my biggest problem in getting hired was first my resume. I felt comfortable about interviewing with companies. The interviews I was not worried about. It really was the resume. Doing that master resume from beginning to end with everything on it was incredibly freeing. I joined on 529 on an 811. I had not only a job offer, but the job offer that I wanted. And that was incredible. When I got immersed in this whole program, there are so many great things here. Just learning all these new tools and tips. And it was the power hours. They were boosters. And I love the fact that they had a theme every week as you were, going through this process. And it was just so comforting to have that. And then the individual coaching sessions, those were great.
My name is Charlotte Jones. I got a new position and I got hired pretty fast in the last month of being with Win at Work. So I have been searching for a job for a little over 7 months, and I've been at Win at Work for just a month, for about 40 days. So I do really like the one-on-one, the one-on-one time that I get with a coach or a career coach, counselor. And I also like that interaction and listening to the successes and the stories of how someone might be thinking about their job search, or how they might want to present themselves during interview, what may work and what hasn't worked. And I'd like to hear those stories from others, because I found that I was having some of the same experiences. And then really when it came down to getting an offer and being able to connect with Eric directly and really get that one-on-one coaching, that was truly helpful. I felt like that was a white glove service that was worth, getting involved with and connecting with Win at Work.
Hi, I'm Mason Fisk, and I live outside of Boston currently. Before I joined, ironically, my interviews were actually high, and then my applications were low. I was really looking for something that was very hands-on. I was someone who, again, I felt like I always could figure things out myself, not doing them correctly. But then once I got into the program, it was kind of the opposite. Like, yes, it was casting a wider net, but at the same time, it was being very thorough. It really is all about your network. Broaden my network, really put myself out there, because I'm someone who is very keen on thinking I could do everything myself, and I know what I'm doing, but sometimes you don't know everything. And that's really how the success for me came out of this program. I have a job offer starting on Monday. Again, without that guidance, I probably would have fumbled it. Again, if you're hesitant for any reason, I have to say it's worth every penny at the end of the day. Eric does know what he's doing. He's created a great program that really hits all points during the entire job application process. The courses are, very thorough, giving tips and tricks and guidance on how to negotiate and get through those stages once you have an offer. And for me personally, I was able to get 25% more than I was previously making. Again, within almost 3 months, I'm back to work. So,
well, first, will you tell us your name?
Jeff Borker. I just want to thank all of you guys. I didn't know how fast this was going to work. And you guys have all been great. I mean, all the feedback that I've gotten from you and from Eric and from Diana and the group as a whole is very supportive, very, very uplifting. Everyone's willing to help out. And it's just been a great experience. It's something that I won't forget. It's something that I'm going to take a lot of these concepts into my work activity. The job that I'm going into really is a dream job for me. I was just like, this is something I have to do, because 2.5 years of doing the same thing, again, nothing was working. I was getting rejections, I was getting ghosted, but I would say put any predispositions away, go into it with an open mind, do the webinar, do the introductory call, and really just do it, because it works.
Path, man, keep on the path. All right, we're getting a bigger crowd now. It's so nice. Tell me who else has something to share. Yeah, Kay, talk to us.
So I went off camera a few minutes ago because I just got an offer from my dream job and my dream company. So real time, it happened just now. So on, thanks, Eric.